Welcome to the Superhero's Journey, episode number 20, I believe.
Yep, it's a milestone.
This is a podcast where we talk mainly about superhero movies and TV shows with a bit of Star Wars, with a trailer we're probably going to see very soon.
Yep.
And other things in the genre. My name is Carl Framerman, and with me is my co-host,
Brian Shores.
And you can find us on Twitter at Superhero Journey, no Ian Super. You can find me at Carl Freemerman, CarlFreemerman.
Struggled with that one a little.
It's a lot, you know.
I don't think I've ever actually written down your name.
It's really easy, actually.
It's easy.
It's spelled exactly as it sounds.
It's just a lot of E's, dude.
It's, yeah. So what's your Twitter handle, Brian?
You can find me on Twitter at thatbrian. It's THATBRIEN.
And you can email us if you care. It'd be interesting if we got an email.
Our email just breaks. It's like, I don't know what to do.
No, it's the superheroesjourney at gmail.com, where heroes is plural. HEROES.
Yes.
Not possessive.
Nope.
And let's just kick right into this final Justice League trailer, all right?
Yep.
This is it. No more. Okay.
Yeah.
We're never going to see anything else about this movie until it's out, except for the TV spot that just came out immediately after.
Yeah, and then probably all the next like 30 TV spots that are going to come out that are going to have like 1 second different.
Yeah.
You know, which I don't care about that, but I will be watching every single one of those for Star Wars.
Yeah, I did that last time too, and they did a good job of not really revealing too much.
No, they did a good job at just like amping it up, you know.
Yeah, and when you know, on that, when it comes to the Justice League trailers that we've seen, like I really feel like I can piece together exactly what's going to happen in this movie.
I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of surprises.
Yeah, the only thing that I can't figure out or place at all is how Superman is, where he goes in this movie.
Yeah.
Because of course they've shown nothing.
The end.
Well, yes, he is going to be the like Deus Ex Machina thing in the end that saves them.
Yeah.
But we have still seen nothing other than the beginning of this trailer. We do get to see Clark with his sexy unbuttoned like
flannel.
Into like a nice V-neck looking shirt with he's got no undershirt under this button down. Like I like to wear them. Okay, I wear button downs with no shirt underneath.
So why are you judging Superman?
Because I do not open the buttons to have my chest show.
Oh, okay, I got
now,
you.
I'm not as, ripped as Henry Cavill is.
Yeah.
So maybe if I was, I might do that. But, I'm not in bad shape.
No, I mean, but also, he's a country boy,
Yeah, I could pull it off.
Yeah.
But I find it disgusting.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I don't like it personally. Like, I never, V-necks.
No, that's not for me.
Yeah.
The closer the collar is to my neck, the better.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was an obvious like dream sequence. Lois was like, "Oh my God, it's Clark, and he's smiling, and he wants to marry me."
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, the whole line where he's like, "So that's a yes," and she has no idea what he's talking about. He's like, "The ring," and she's like, "Oh right, that." And like the entire audience was like, "Oh right, that," because it's such a glossed over thing at the end of that movie.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many other things that have been talked about, in that movie that, of course you're going to not really remember that very well.
I mean, like, when I saw it, I'm like, oh, yeah, he, Martha, gave her the ring, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I remember that. Like, I didn't, like, completely block it out, but it's also not, like, a thing from the movie that anybody ever talks about.
Wait, what was the father's name again?
Jonathan?
No. The,
God?
What was the thing?
Jor-El?
No, because Aquaman, his father's name is Arthur. No,
Arthur Curry is Aquaman.
Oh, he's Arthur, right? No, Aquaman's father is
King Triton.
There was a relation. I don't remember it. Forget it. So yeah, this trailer is like very much. It's more the same,
Yeah.
It's more, the biggest takeaway for me is the CGI is
video gamey.
Yeah. It's like high level video game, but it's not quite, big budget studio movie.
I would
level.
say it's like the CGI you see in the commercial for a video game, where it's better than what it's going to be in the video game, but it's not good enough to be in a movie.
Yeah, well, it's like the cutscenes in a video game,
Yeah.
which there are ones that probably look better than this, but
yeah, maybe
there's a lot of really questionable visuals going on with all the red hued like scene. Like obviously that's something that's happening. Like my belief is that they're terraforming the planet to become like apocalypse.
Yeah, which I mean that's just what it looks like.
Right.
I can't imagine it not being that at this point.
Yeah.
Which I mean, when we were watching the trailer earlier, you're like, yeah, but they already did terraforming. It's like, yeah. And how many times did Lex Luthor try and make more, buy up cheap land and try and like, make new coastal property?
Yeah.
It's like they just rehash stuff.
And then Superman had to like lift that continent.
Yeah.
That was made of kryptonite.
Yeah. After like that small like 1-inch shard took him out.
Yeah. He got beat up by some like henchmen who just kicked him.
Yeah. One of which was Kumar, if I remember correctly.
Oh, he was it?
Yeah, Cal Penn was one of the henchmen.
That's great.
I don't know if he was one of the ones beating him up, but I know he was like the brainy henchman.
Oh, Superman Returns.
Dude, I still like that movie.
It's not a good movie.
It's not a good movie, but I had a lot of fun watching it.
I would honestly rather watch Man of Steel, to be honest.
I wouldn't. Because Man of Steel is not a fun movie. And if I watch a superhero movie, I want it to be fun.
Yeah.
Like Superman
But I can enjoy the action sequences. Like Man of Steel.
Sure.
It's grown on me ever so slightly because of how much worse things have been after it.
Yeah.
But the action sequences are still the best in the DCEU.
Yeah.
And there are some on their own, like, entertaining, I would like to watch battle sequences. Like, the final battle with Superman and Zod is, like, epic. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Even the first encounter when he fights the other ones, Feora and
Nod, I think.
Whatever his name is.
Sure.
That was a really good action sequence. The beginning action sequence. I'm getting really off on a tangent on this.
Yep.
But the one with
anything to not talk about Justice.
Yeah, right. Jor-El.
Yeah.
So I mean, okay. This movie hopefully has action sequences that live up to that.
Sure.
Right. Now, do I get that impression from this trailer? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I like you see Wonder Woman fighting Steppenwolf. We do get our first like good look at Steppenwolf.
I think we actually see Steppenwolf with most everyone, right? Don't we? We see him with Cyborg, Aquaman, Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Flash? Do we see him? Do we see him with Flash and Batman or no?
I don't think so.
No.
But I mean, I'm sure they'll get their licks in. Batman will punch him and Steppenwolf will just laugh.
Throw a batarang and it'll just bounce off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steppenwolf looks very generic.
Yeah, it's basically like, hey, draw a cyborg Viking, and that generic like, I don't know, like background like, iOS game filler bad guy is what you would get. It's
very hamstrung by the deleted scene.
Yeah.
That they put in the Ultimate Edition of Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
Because the horns on the helmet in this look pretty much dead on like what we saw before. So it's obvious that they had to like, all right, it's got to look like that because we did it already, and that's supposed to be the character.
Yeah.
When in reality, he really shouldn't look anything like that. He should be much more interesting looking.
Yeah. I mean, see, your problem is you're coming at this with expectations. I just like I'm going into it knowing that it's gonna bomb. Yeah. So like it's literally only going to meet my no expectations or go up.
Well, no, my expectations are super low. Like, yeah.
But you still have them, Carl. You still have expectations.
I have a shred of expectations.
I have none. I expect nothing from this movie, and if I get nothing from it, I will have gotten my money's worth.
Got exactly what you asked for.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Exactly. I don't know. Like, I don't think much of this. Like,
no, yeah, and you see more Cyborg CG just not looking good.
Yeah.
With his face almost looking like it's like pasted on like what was it, like After Effects or something.
Yeah, and I don't know. That it just looks dopey. Like it's a cool design. It's a nice evolution from the comic, but the execution just looks really cheap.
I don't even think it's a cool design at all. I actually think it's a really bad design.
Well, you're wrong, Carl. Your opinion is incorrect.
It's just so busy looking. It's it's very angular.
It is a little Transformery. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
but it's also.
I mean, this movie, the trailer reminds me of a Transformers movie.
Kind of.
Like, there's a lot of like crazy heavy green screen action going on.
Yeah.
With fake looking backgrounds and just lots of explosions. There are a lot of explosions in this trailer. Like, Batman's just blowing everything up now.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a tank now with a big cannon, some missiles on the front also. Yeah. He's just going to town.
I don't know. I'm not loving it. I don't think anybody that's listening would really expect us to have anything positive to say at this point, but like, I don't know. It's not the Justice League. It's not, and I'm totally cool with like changing stuff and evolving it for different media, like, because what works on a comic page probably isn't going to work exactly on screen, but so I fully expect things to change, but not in this manner where it's taking it too far away from, like what you would expect. Like, I don't want, even though like I loved the '89 Batman, I don't want guns and bombs and missiles on the Batmobile. Like,
yeah, like we can do without that.
Yeah,
we should have done it. We should have had a smaller story for Batman.
Yeah,
where he didn't need anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, why does Batman need missiles? Like who's he gonna shoot with a missile? Like
the Joker.
Yeah, I mean, I guess now he has to prepare for super powered beings.
I think a big problem with it is that we haven't in this continuity we haven't seen Batman in a world without superpowers, and presumably with Wonder Woman existing, he's never existed in a world without superpowers.
Well, but Wonder Woman hasn't been around until now, so he did exist.
Well, apparently,
like she was in the world.
She was in the world, and apparently she existed at least in World War I, and then in doing something in the 80s.
Yeah.
So I mean,
because World War II never happened, and then in the 80s, like the Cold War was a more significant event, right?
How do you have the Cold War without World War II?
You just do.
Do.
It's actually...
Without World War II, then you don't have nuclear weapons. Without nuclear weapons, you don't have the Cold War.
Gorbachev is now... Is it Gorbachev? That was... Yeah, he's actually more of a Hitler type in this world.
Okay.
Yeah, so... That's how it's going to play out, Brian.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Okay. I wanna try to piece together what this movie is. We'll see how much of this is right, okay? Okay, so Justice League. It's going to start with... maybe we'll see Lois somewhere early. I don't know how she really fits into it, but
I imagine. Okay, this is how I'd put Lois in it. She wakes up on the Kent farm and walks out the front door to the porch, really ham-fistedly showing us the wedding ring. To look out into the field and just be like, "Is that an uninteresting scarecrow?" Nope, that's Clark Kent.
All right. So I think one of our first big scenes is going to be that Wonder Woman like saving. Some bank or whatever it is.
Because like, what kids go on a field trip to a bank?
Yeah, or they're on a field trip somewhere, right? Maybe it's a landmark.
Completely missing the opportunity. She works in a museum.
Yeah,
have it be at the museum.
I mean, maybe it is some sort of landmark museum thing that's maybe they're near where that event's happening, right? But
it's I just figured something out. Those school kids, those are the kids from Madeline because it's in France. So they're expanding the universe even more beyond just comics into French children's literature. So now they're going to be bringing the Smurfs in.
It's in canon.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we're going to get like a sequence. We got to see someone saving people, right? So it's going to be Wonder Woman because everybody loves her.
Yeah.
So she's going to be saving people, right? And then Batman's going to meet up with her at some point, and they're going to, start forming the Justice League, right? So they're going to go meet the Flash, and then they're going to go talk to, Batman's going to talk to Aquaman, right? And it's not going to go well, we know that.
Well, we also know that Batman talks to Flash one-on-one, too. Batman's kind of just, like, spearheading this whole thing.
Right, yeah.
The only one that we haven't seen anyone recruit is Cyborg.
Right. So that's where I think, okay, so once Batman gets Flash and Wonder Woman together, right, we know, and then the bat signal happens, right? Mm-hmm. And there's something's going on, right? So they're like, oh, we got to go save something, right? And then I think that's how they're going to meet Cyborg, right? Something going to happen, and
like there's an attack on Star Labs, like Steppenwolf. Oh, okay, no, this is how they introduce this. I got it. This is how they introduce Cyborg into it. Mm-hmm. The Parademons are attacking Star Labs because they're trying to track down the Mother Box that merged with Ray Fisher.
Exactly.
So then he's released from like, whatever, experiment or, monitoring station they had him on, and he meets the other three from the Justice League there.
Yeah, and he's, those Parademons were like scouts maybe. They get destroyed because they didn't expect, it'd be a superhero, essentially.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then, but they're going to meet him. They're going to get involved. Now, he's going to be able to explain to them about the Mother Box stuff, possibly, because he's going to get that information from himself, right?
Yeah.
Within him.
Yeah.
And we see that cool, like, the one cool visual where he spreads his hands, and there's this holographic display.
Yeah. Which was a really cool visual.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. That's how I actually wish the effects were done from the movie, where, like, it wasn't pushing any boundaries. It was literally just... what it should have looked like.
Yeah, and then they're all gonna go to this underground.
Okay, you're skipping a step though.
What's that?
Okay, they're setting up something very pivotal in that Cyborg is the one who is going to, in the end, recruit Aquaman, because anyone who is watching this trailer, look at his bookshelf. The only book that you can see a title for is on whales, okay? So he's the only one who has a full understanding of how to speak with marine people or marine life in general.
He can talk to whales now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's the only one who understands them from that book he read.
All right, so then they're gonna like maybe track down one of the other Mother Boxes, right?
Yeah.
And that's where that looks like that nuclear stack, right?
Yeah.
And that's some underground facility there, and that's.
Let's just say nuclear power plant.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I don't know what a nuclear power plant looks like on the inside, but we see it goes down underground.
Have you ever seen The Simpsons?
Well, I don't know how real that is, but like I think that maybe that's where Steppenwolf like first appears, right?
Yeah, I mean it could be.
Right, or he could, maybe he comes out of
from previous trailers that he appears on Themyscira.
Yeah.
Because I would imagine that they probably are storing a Mother Box on Themyscira, and that's where he comes to Earth.
Well, he may have been on the planet early, like there's maybe a scene in the past. You think he's part of that?
Could be.
Either way, we'll get that sequence too, probably early on, actually.
Yeah.
Where it's some
they'll do
flashback story.
They'll probably do like the slow motion overproduced. Like storytelling exposition, like they've done in pretty much every other.
Yeah, but this scene we've seen a lot of, like we see Batman, Flash, Aquaman, Wonder Woman all there in that like nuclear place, whatever it is, or that underground facility, and they're gonna meet Steppenwolf there. Now we see him fighting Wonder Woman there, so like they're gonna get beat up by Steppenwolf, and like they're gonna have to retreat or something, and then all the Parademons are gonna start taking over.
Yeah, and
then Steppenwolf's going to go after Aquaman to get the Mother Box that they probably have.
Yeah.
Right? And Aquaman's going to get beat up. And then Aquaman's going to be like, now I'll team up with you guys because, Steppenwolf can kick my ass. And, I guess I need help.
Well, they're gonna send Cyborg. They're going to send Cyborg to talk to Aquaman. Because he's like, don't worry, guys, I got this. I read a book on whales. That's literally the only thing I found interesting in the trailer is the stupid book on whales.
The book on whales, right? Okay, and then, chaos ensues. Apocalypse is... The planet is turning into apocalypse, and Justice League are going to be saving all kinds of people, possibly, hopefully.
Yeah.
It would be nice if we see them saving a lot of people. And then they're going to have to fight all the Parademons and freaking Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
And then they're still going to lose, and then Superman's going to show up.
Yeah.
And then they're going to save the day. Steppenwolf's going to get murdered horribly.
Well, you're forgetting the part... and
then we're going to tease Darkseid.
See, I think you're missing something very pivotal in that...
No, movie over.
No, there's a scene where the second time they're all together with Aquaman and Steppenwolf, beats them. I think they're gonna do a whole thing with, they're like, we're not coming together as a team. You did this. You're used to fighting on your own. Because they're just they're shown as just being all loners, and they're gonna do all this infighting, and then Superman's gonna show up, and he's gonna be the thing to bring the team together.
Oh, yeah,
that's gonna be that. That's completely inevitable. Like that's just gonna happen.
It'll play out something like that. Yeah. Yeah, like Batman won't be able to get them to work together. And, you know, Superman comes and like, oh my God, he's just so hopeful. Yeah. I can't help but want to be cooperative around him.
When literally, like, it's just going to be like, what do we do? He's like, beat Steppenwolf. Do you think we can? I hope so. Wow, that was so inspiring. You finally brought hope back to the world. You know, and like Superman's just like standing there eating a bag of chips. He's like, did what now?
So, okay. One thing that really bugs me about this universe is that in this trailer that we saw, they have that line about like, oh, the crime rate is up and all this bad stuff is happening and people lost hope because Superman's gone. But like, you had this guy around for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Like, the world would not have totally drastically changed, and, you know, criminals would have just like, oh, we're all just going to start committing more crimes now that this superhero that probably wasn't affecting most small crimes, like, they're just gonna like, oh, we'll start going crazy now. This guy's only been around for a year and a half. Like, it's not that big. It's such a short time span that it shouldn't have that much of an impact.
Yeah, I don't know.
Superman should have been around for like 10 years or you know, at least 5, but like probably 10 would have been nice, you know? Yeah,
that would have made more sense. Like, you know, because...
So then you couldn't imagine a world without him anymore if it was like 10 years.
Now, what could have made sense was, you know, this is borrowing a bit from the Superman animated series when they were introducing Apocalypse.
Please do borrow as much as you want from there,
dude. I love those shows.
Fantastic.
They were phenomenal. But if you remember, they had an ongoing thread, and I think it was a couple episodes where all these like low rent, like very small, like, you know, car thief, bank robber, you know, criminals, like no-name guys were getting these high-tech weapons, and they were being supplied by Apocalypse.
Right, yeah.
You know, so...
Dark Side, right?
Yeah. You know, well, yeah, because, well, I think it was like Granny Goodness or something.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and that would have been really awesome, you know, if, like, Superman's around for, like, 10 years, in the last, like, 2 years, all of these new weapons were coming out on the street, you know, and then they do something that could have been, you know, somewhat really cool, you know, if they ended Wonder Woman differently, where you have Ares was the one who was, you know, bringing Steppenwolf for Darkseid, or, you know, basically, you know, some harbinger of Apocalypse to Earth, and they were teaming up, and he was like their conduit there, and he was the one who was like distributing, you know, like bringing the aggression to the people, and, you know, and like turning them more hate-filled and taking away the hope. And then you have Steppenwolf, who's like supplying them with like all these otherworldly weapons. So everything was getting worse. Then Superman dies, and then everyone's like, well, now we've lost the beacon of hope that we had, and everything is just continuing to get worse.
Yeah,
that could have been really cool.
Wouldn't it have been great if there was a huge build-up?
Yeah,
you know, before the death of Superman. Man, oh God, I would love that. Mm-hmm. But since there wasn't, we are living in a world now without hope. So
yeah.
So let's move on to something more exciting.
Yeah.
The Pacific Rim Uprising trailer came out.
Yeah, and I will say before we talk about this, Carl can tell you, I am not a fan of the first Pacific Rim.
Mm-hmm.
It's a conversation, maybe argument that we've had multiple times. I think Carl has actually like hit the nail on the head as to why I can't stand the movie, and it's Charlie Hunnam. Like,
he's the worst.
He's just so bad.
So we got no Charlie Hunnam this time.
But no Charlie Hunnam. Happy. So I'm way into this trailer. It looks really awesome. Even for however stupid it is to have, you know, Jaegers fighting the kaiju when like clearly a couple missiles could do the job.
Possibly, yeah.
Since like Kyle Hill never got back to us.
Yeah, right. But still, I still maintain that, look, it's just awesome to have giant robots fighting giant monsters, and like, you don't have to have an explanation for it, because do you need an explanation for how Superman exists? Like, why?
I have an explanation for why Superman exists. He is an alien from another world that had a different color sun, and when his world was destroyed and sent to Earth, our yellow-colored son supercharged his cells and gave him superpowers. I know how he exists. I have that answer.
Well, look, they built giant robots, okay? There's no reason why they can't. Now, would they function that well?
Oh, there are plenty of reasons why they can't. Because physics.
We're getting sidetracked here. Pacific Rim Uprising looks really good.
No, that looks really good. Like, forgetting all of the stupid stuff about it, it looks so good.
It looks like just a good old fun time.
Yeah, dude.
I really love the new Jaeger designs.
Yeah.
They're colorful, they're distinct. Yeah. Everything.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not the Transformer syndrome where you can tell them apart.
Right,
it's so cool.
They all have unique weapons. I mean, they had that in the first one, but everything was a lot darker.
Yeah, no, this one, because this is in Del Toro, right?
No.
I can't remember who's directing it, but this has a very brighter look to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really works. I like you got that one with the like this ball and chain thing going on, and.
Oh, the ex-wife?
No, like his arm. He shoots out this crazy weapon.
That was such like a old like Borscht Belt comedian
I know, right?
joke.
The one with the two swords, and he puts them together, and then they, it's just cool that they got all these different unique things going on. We see some interesting stuff. We were pausing it, and it looks like it almost looked like there were Jaegers that may have been a mix of kaiju and Jaeger.
Yeah, yeah, because you had a good point about that, about their evolution.
Yeah, because in the previous movie, when they do that mind link with the kaiju, the scientist guys, they specifically mentioned that it was like a two-way thing. Like while they were getting information from the kaijus, obviously the kaiju got information from them.
Yeah.
So maybe they are somehow using their technology against them, and they've taken over. Maybe a pair of Jaegers, because there's two that look similar.
Yeah, they look like they're twin Jaegers.
Yeah, and they're blowing up some building, so like that, it makes sense.
Yeah, because they look like Jaegers, but they don't look like they have human proportions like the rest of them. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it definitely looks
and
like...
And they got some glowing blue bits that you see a lot from the Jaegers.
Yeah, and then, and later in the trailer you see them emerging from the water like the kaiju did, and then I think there's another scene where you see one of the Jaegers that has a sword slashing out one of them, or a different Jaeger, where you definitely see Jaeger on Jaeger fighting.
Yeah, that I think might have been a different Jaeger, but I'm curious to see, and honestly, that's cool too. Like, I want to see two giant robots fight each other also. Why not?
Yeah. Why not? I can think of like 5 reasons why not.
No, why you wouldn't want to see it.
Oh.
No, there's no reason why you wouldn't want to see it. Whether it would...
because the Transformers movies, dude. All it is giant robots fighting giant robots.
Well,
and I know I don't want to see it.
Giant mechs. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm rephrasing it. Okay. And then we see this big kaiju in the end that it seems like several kaiju are like fusing together and making one big kaiju possibly. They're Voltroning it.
Yeah, they're Voltroning the kaiju. Yeah, I mean like the movie looks like intellectually it looks like super dopey, but it looks so fun though.
Yeah,
like nothing in the movie makes any kind of sense, but but they gave all the exposition they needed, because I think they gave the line to Charlie Day in the trailer where he just goes, "They've evolved," and I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, that's all I need. That's really all I need.
I mean, we have to assume that a good amount of time has passed.
I mean, yeah.
They have all these new Jaegers. Yeah, John Boyega, I don't know where he was in the first movie, but he was obviously too young to matter.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, yeah, you got to imagine it's probably at least 5-10 years. You know.
Yeah, 10 years would be a good amount.
Yeah, I think 10 years would make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. The trailer it looks bright. It looks fun. It's like you said, like all the action is distinctive. Like you can see where it all like separates out.
Yeah, and we speculated about this before, but it actually we confirmed that in this trailer that they still do the two pilot thing. They're gonna have to do that whole the drift. What was it called?
The drift.
Yeah,
drifting.
Right.
Yeah, but we actually do see 1, 2, and 3 pilots per Jaeger. Which I think the 3, I think you hit the nail on the head where you said that it's training. Like,
that girl.
Yeah, they probably have like a trainer.
Yeah, because there's a very young girl in this who at one point is piloting, it looks like a smaller Jaeger by herself.
Yeah.
And from what I read somewhere online, that like apparently that's what she made that herself somehow.
I don't know how young she is. I think because that's the girl you saw. Like they do the turnaround. Like they have the camera going all around her. I imagine she's probably about like 20 something.
What?
No, like I think she's a little kid while all that's going on. But I think the 10 years have passed.
No.
That's the impression that I get.
No, she's there.
Dude, there's no.
She's like a 13-year-old girl.
Dude, you're out of your mind.
14.
You're out of your. No, that's a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah, the whole time.
No, not the whole time, dude. You're out of your mind.
She's there with them.
If you think a 13-year-old is building a Jaeger.
Yeah, but she's there with John Boyega in one scene.
Where?
There's like a shot of all of them standing together, and she's there.
I didn't see her.
Yeah, you missed that. Yeah. She's there.
So
yeah, that's the thing. Is like
you've seen the trailer more than I have.
It's weird to think that she could build it. So I don't know that maybe she built it herself per se, but maybe she had help.
Her dad, Mark Wahlberg, built stuff out in the barn.
Cade Yeager.
Yeah, Cade
Yeager. Built a Jaeger.
Dude, we just figured out the continuity. All the Transformers left Earth. So Cade Yeager took all of the knowledge he had of giant robots, and he built the Jaegers. Oh, God.
He solved it.
It's so bad that makes so much sense. Yeah. Oh, I hate Transformers. God,
all right.
Dude, that's terrible.
Excitement all around for this one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it looks like it's going to be fun.
Yeah. It should be, like, at the very least, it's going to be just a cool action movie to see.
Yeah.
Like, I can't see it being a bad movie.
No.
Like, it might not be great,
I mean,
but it will be enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, and this is, coming from, I can see it being a bad movie just because I didn't like the first one, but like I don't anticipate that, and I like John Boyega. So,
yeah, he adds so much more charisma to this movie.
Yeah, even though he looks like he took all of his style advice from like an Eddie Murphy comedy special from like the 80s with the shaved lines in his head and that really creepy looking mustache.
It's gotta look different. It can't look like Finn,
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. There recently was some impressions on Twitter for Thor Ragnarok.
Yep.
This is media impressions, right? So these are, publications, critics, people who are going to be reviewing the movie, and it's all positive, which is nice.
Yeah.
And most of them are saying that the movie's very funny and it's the best Thor film yet.
Which that's a low bar.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a low bar. I would say it's not hard to make the best Thor movie because they're not I honestly I like both of those movies.
I like the first one. The second one, I pretty much it didn't really do much for me because I didn't like all of the the otherworldly stuff.
No, I completely agree that the second it's the worst MCU movie.
Yeah.
But it was still good. I still enjoyed it. It's not a bad movie. It's a forgettable movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything unique or incredible or great. The villains, whatever. But you can watch it and say, yeah, that was fine. That was a good movie. Whatever. You won't be offended by it. So to say that this is the best, obviously, we got a good movie here.
Yeah.
Because the other two are not bad movies.
I mean, I definitely was not excited at the trailer for either of the other Thor movies the way that I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, I think that's universal. I think the hype for this trailer, and obviously with statistics and everything, that this movie is hyped more than Justice League at this point.
Oh yeah.
But other things they've said I saw in these comments were there's a lot of praise for the actors' performances. Mm-hmm. With Tessa Thompson and of course Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
They said the action's good and I saw comments about the score as well.
Yeah.
I really like the score. So it sounds all around we're gonna have another hit and Marvel's gonna continue their streak of not making bad movies.
Yeah. I mean they'll eventually make a bad movie.
Will they?
I mean by the numbers they gotta.
Do they? By the numbers, they've already just smashed it. Who makes 15 movies in a series and not one of them is actually a bad movie?
Me. just don't look at my IMDb.
So yeah, I'm really excited. That's like a month away now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, we're getting really close to that.
Mm-hmm. All right. The Spawn reboot, we got just a little bit of information on that. Of course, it's directed by the creator of the Todd McFarlane. We already knew that.
Yep.
It's going to begin filming early 2018. So, I mean, that's not far off at all. Yeah. I'd like to have some casting information.
Yeah.
And then the budget is only going to be $10 million.
I mean, that seems low.
It's very low.
Like, because at that point, you're kind of looking at, like, there are going to be no stars, very little CGI. Because look at, I mean, It was a really good movie, and that was a $30 million movie, and even that, I'm like, that's a really low budget.
That is low, yeah.
You know, and for $10 million to do something that inherently is going to have to be very effects heavy, you know, just for all of the spawn effects and, like, whatever they're doing for the villain, whether it's going to be the clown or whatever, like, it's...
Yeah, I mean, if it's $10 million, they're going to have to go with a less CGI type villain, which there are several to choose from with Spawn.
Yeah.
You know, Todd McFarlane, with this news, he specifically said that this reason of all this is that he wants no studio interference.
Yeah.
So he's not trying to get a budget for it from anyone else.
Yeah.
You know, he's just going to have a studio, someone else, like, market it.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, it worries me because... Well, yeah, you might be able to make a really cool movie with it. Practical effects, maybe you could do some good stuff, so maybe it'll look good. There's just certain things with CG that you know, you kind of have to do with Spawn. You know, his cape is
the
probably
cape, the chains,
the chain, right?
Yeah.
Anything from hell.
Yeah.
You know, so how awful the hell sequences were in the original.
Yeah.
Oh man, those are bad.
Yeah. But it's all we had.
Yeah, and also, you know, Todd McFarlane, he's not a director. He hasn't made movies really.
Well, but what I will say though is, as a comic book artist though, like, yeah, it's gonna be a pretty steep learning curve, and hopefully he's gonna be working with someone else to, you know, get an idea of what he's got to do. But as somebody who is like a comic artist, he does have an eye for, like, you know, framing scenes and like setting things up and how to visually tell a story. So I don't think it's going to be too huge of a leap, but, you know, I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that, you know, might be challenges for him, you know, because it's not just a matter of like, okay, I want this character here, here, and here, go from here to here, you know, I'm just going to draw it. Now he's going to have to be able to articulate that and instruct actors to do that and then capture that, you know, in the frame. So I mean, I think you have a better chance of taking a comic artist, you know, who is also a writer, and having them go into the director's seat than somebody who is just like a producer or a writer who is now directing, or even an actor, you know, because they're looking, you're only looking at one aspect of it.
They do have an eye for that, like you said, the framing, you know.
So I don't know. I think there's going to be challenges, but I actually have some hope for him to succeed.
Yeah, not going to count him out because it could work out well.
Yeah,
I'm very cautiously optimistic. Like, I want to see a good Spawn movie, but with such low budget, like, I can't really expect too much.
Yeah.
But it could be a surprise, you know. So, you know, and if it doesn't work out, whatever. No one cares about Spawn anymore.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I really just, I don't care about the execution of a Spawn movie. Like, I think it'd be really cool to watch a good one, but at the same time, I'm not losing sleep over it because I've never been a Spawn fan.
I'm surprised, you know, because when Spawn came out, like, he was very popular.
Yeah,
and
he was like Demon Venom.
Yeah, and that popularity grew and stuck around for quite a while. Yeah. And I always thought at that time, growing up, that he'd be a character that would just still be around, and he'd be, you know, a popular culture type character. You know, he'd be images. I mean, he arguably is images like, you know, Superman or Batman or whatever. But that he'd still be culturally relevant and people when there'd be adaptations and things going on, but like that all just really died. And maybe it was the movie that was so bad that everyone was like, we don't need this character.
I don't know.
In the comics, like I don't know, do they still make comics? I don't even know.
I think so. I think they still make Spawn comics. Because I mean, like it had the popularity because it was the comics, and then the animated series was super popular. The movie was popular, but it wasn't good. I don't know. Like, who would have thought that? Like, it's not the face of Spawn that's like on the back of every like goth kid's like mom's car. It's Jack Skellington. Like,
awesome thing that I found out. You may know this already, but I don't remember the name of the writer, but he's famous. There's
Stephen King.
No, comic book. In Spawn, they have the character Angela, right?
Yeah.
And at a certain point, there's a big dispute with this, and because the Image was like creator owned stuff, right? And they wanted to push that, and even if someone else wrote for it, like they would argue that you created that character and that you would that would be your character. So I forgot who it was who created Angela, right?
Yeah.
For a Spawn comic, but then later on, like Todd McFarlane was like, no, that's mine. You can't have it because it's part of my universe. And like the guy eventually won like a lawsuit or whatever, a legal battle.
Yeah.
And he got the rights to that character, and then he later sold it to Marvel in spite because he didn't care.
Yeah.
And now Angela is a part of Thor's universe, and she's like she's an Asgardian. She's just like a long lost I don't know, sister or something like that of like funny. Thor. And I'm like, that's really pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like to think a character from an Image Comics is now in Marvel canon.
Yeah, that's funny.
And permanently belongs there. It's just weird and bizarre, but
yeah. I mean, that's copyright for you, I guess. Like, I don't know.
So, okay, let's move on. We got a new director for Gambit.
Yep.
Maybe this one sticks.
Yeah.
I think this one's going to stick. I think it's actually happening, this movie now.
I mean, if he signs on, I have a feeling. Well, I mean, we should probably say who it is.
It's Gore Verbinski.
Yeah, from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And I got a list of other stuff.
Yeah.
This guy's all over the place. So, the Mexican, The Ring, the Weatherman. That's with Nick Cage. Yeah. Rango.
Okay.
The Lone Ranger.
He really sticks with Johnny Depp, doesn't he?
And then the most recent, A Cure for Wellness.
Okay.
Which I saw, and it's a really bizarre movie.
Yeah.
And it's long, but it keeps your interest. It's like, throughout the movie, I'm like, I really want to know where this is going to go. It's kind of interesting. But then when you get to the end and the reveal and like how it pans out in the end, that's where it falls flat.
Yeah.
It's like, I wouldn't say don't see it, but just expect to be kind of underwhelmed at the end. But like the ride is kind of interesting. You know?
Yeah, it's fun to get you there, but it's not.
Yeah. But I mean, look, he's done all kinds of different things, and there's a lot of good stuff there. You know, like I did enjoy Weatherman. I don't remember it that well, but I remember liking it. I didn't see Rango. Lone Ranger, I honestly think is an underrated movie.
Yeah, I would say so.
It's not bad.
I think it's very tonally similar to Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Which I think is the right tone to have for Gambit. You know, I mean, maybe not have him nearly as flamboyant as Jack Sparrow, but you know, but you have a very like, you know, out there, charismatic, flamboyant character.
Yeah, I mean,
and it should be light
roguish,
and fun.
You know?
Yeah, rogue. Yeah, that's the best way to describe him. Like, and it should be like really light and fun with, you know, some heavy like dramatic tones and you know, treat it somewhat seriously. But I think that's the right guy to do a Gambit movie. Yeah,
I could definitely see that. And you know, now Channing Tatum is still attached to this.
Which I still don't love him as Gambit, but I also don't know who else I'd really cast.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I'm just not totally convinced, although I do like Channing Tatum in some things, so
yeah,
we'll see how that goes. I still want him to be Shazam, but obviously that dream
it's not happening.
is past.
I mean, nobody's Shazam at this point, so.
He's all CG.
Yeah. I could see him doing it.
I mean, it'd be bad CG, but...
Yeah, that's juicy.
All right. Okay, Avatar.
Yeah.
Has added 2 cast members.
Yep.
Kate Winslet.
Never heard of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was probably in some big movie that was also done by James Cameron.
And then nobody's heard from her since.
Yeah, really. She has kind of not been around, but...
I mean, like, she's done a bunch of stuff, but I think it's all, like, passion projects, because...
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
But that's a good cast for whatever she's going to... I mean, it's a good actor to have.
Yeah, I think, because I think they only said the name of her character, Renal.
Yeah.
You know, but they didn't say anything else about it.
Yeah, and at this point, look, if you told me anybody in this, who cares? Like, it's not like superhero stuff where we know the characters and it matters who they're playing. Like, he's making all this stuff up. So.
Yeah. And
then also, Cliff Curtis, who is one of the main guys from Fear the Walking Dead. He's the older guy. I think he's Indian, like from India.
Yeah.
Who I mean, I honestly didn't stick with that show, but I liked him.
I didn't get past the first episode.
Yeah, I think I watched like the first 6 episodes maybe.
Yeah.
But then I was like, nah, I don't need to come back to this.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't care about that show. But at that point, I was pretty much already dropping Walking Dead anyway.
Oh yeah,
so.
I still watch it. I like it.
I don't know.
It's still good.
I don't know. I mean, like that. They spent that. I don't want to get on a tangent, but they spent that whole season trying to get to Terminus, and they're like, "Oh, we're at Terminus. Oh, it sucks here. Let's go."
Like, wow, these people are really terrible.
Yeah,
we should not be here.
Let's go and never bring this up ever again.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm not saying the show's perfect, but I still enjoy it. There's not much like it on TV.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's the best zombie stuff out there.
Right I'll agree with that.
Like, as far as movies and things go, like, there's not much else at this point.
Yeah, I just don't care about it, like, because it always hit a point when I was even watching.
Negan's great. All right.
Yeah.
And what's the actor's name?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, man, he is excellent.
Yeah. Which and I know you don't watch the show, even though like I think you should, but it's like going into the 13th season, so I know you're probably not going to jump in, but they had a really great scene last season on Supernatural. Jeffrey Dean Morgan played their dad in the first season.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was after I think it was like after like the episode where like Glenn died or something, where one of the guys, Dean, the older brother, they walk into the bunker where they live, and he's just holding like Lucille, like completely like bloodied up, the bat like wrapped in like, you know, the barbed wire. And he just like drops on a table. He's like, "Dad loved that thing," and like that's the only reference to it.
That's funny.
And it was such an awesome scene. Like it was so cool.
Yeah, I don't think I need to watch the show to appreciate that.
No, I think you do.
Yeah,
start with the first episode.
Yeah, and then never stop for the next month, 2 months
to watch 12 years of a show.
Yeah, if I just never stop watching.
Oh yeah, if you just
like, didn't sleep. Yeah.
I mean,
I would die.
Probably.
Yeah, but
I mean, come on, dude. Like
this, it's for the cause.
Dude, this season they're having a crossover episode with Scooby-Doo. I cannot wait for that.
I'm waiting for the Gilmore Girls crossover.
I mean, it's probably coming eventually.
All right. The Venom movie is in talks to add 2 actors or actresses.
Yep.
We've got Jenny Slate.
Yep.
Who I don't know as an actress really, but I looked her up and
she was on SNL.
Yeah, she's done a lot of voice work too.
Yeah, she did. I think most famously, without people knowing, I think she did that Marcel the Snell or the Shell.
The Shell?
Yeah, did you ever see that? It was,
from what? What was
it's
this?
on YouTube. Don't bother.
But like
it was like a huge thing like a couple years ago.
A lot of CG animated things and movies. I looked it up, but you know, Adventure Time. She had a voice in there.
Yeah.
And, she was the Harley Quinn in the Lego Batman, apparently.
Yeah. Which
didn't have a big role, but. But a lot of voice work in this sort of a genre type CG movie. So it makes me wonder, like, is she going to be just a regular character, or is she going to do something?
I don't know. I mean, because when I was reading about it, you know, all they really said was she would be playing a scientist in the movie.
She's Carnage.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, might not have a female Carnage.
Like, I mean, well, isn't it, what's the female symbiote? Shriek? Is it?
No, I have no idea. I know there is one.
There's like Shriek, Toxin. I don't remember their names, but like, yeah.
And then the other actress is Michelle Williams.
Yeah.
Who is become more famous. She was in Manchester by the Sea.
Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, right. But I mean, nobody really, I think, took her very seriously with Dawson's Creek.
No, it wasn't until she really kind of hit her stride with Halloween Water.
Well, she was nominated for what?
Best actress
in Manchester.
Water.
And that also?
No.
What is that? That's a thing?
No, it was a Halloween H2O. Like
20 years that's
later.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Got
the
it.
name of the movie is Halloween H2O.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I know, I get it now.
Come on,
Okay, Brian.
Come on.
Look, I imagine everyone else listening did not get it either.
No, we're all on the same page.
So, yeah, I never really liked her, to be honest. But
I mean, I don't really I never really had anything for or against her.
Yeah, but obviously she's a good actress, so.
Yeah.
She may be a possible love interest for Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock. Which is weird in just in itself to think that this villain like centric movie, like he's not a villain obviously at this point. He's probably just gonna be a hero.
Yeah, I mean he's
just,
probably
just
gonna
very
be like the
dark
anti-hero.
like anti-hero. Yeah, like his powers are rooted in something evil, but he's gonna be a hero.
Yeah, he's probably gonna be the character who like does bad things for the right reasons.
Yeah, we'll see. Because Eddie Brock is not a good person.
No.
Right, so
no.
This is probably going to be a mix of the Eddie Brock and Flash Thompson.
Yeah.
Venom. So, all right. This is unfortunate. This next one.
Oh, we already talked about Justice League.
Yeah. So, of course, due to the horrific mass shooting that we had in Las Vegas, the Netflix Punisher series canceled its panel at New York Comic Con, and it also postponed the release of the series to later this fall. Now, we didn't have a release date, but from what I was reading, it sounds like they were going to do like a sort of surprise release.
Yeah, they were going to just kind of spring it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, all this, it makes sense to
Yeah, which might have been cool way to do it. But,
yeah.
Just on behalf of America, I'm going to apologize to the rest of the world. It's our fault that we're just so terrible at reining in gun violence that you don't get to see Punisher that soon.
Yeah.
So, maybe if we can get a handle on our crap here. And
I don't know. I mean, like, you're getting an apology from two people who hate guns, so...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's unfortunate, and honestly, like, I would just completely forego any more comic book movies ever if it meant like reasonable like gun control and gun laws.
Whoa, Brian.
No, I mean like.
Oh man, that's a tough choice. I would have to. I don't know if I could give that up. I mean, like, I don't want people to die. I don't really, want people to die,
but like, I mean, I could really use those 2 hours of entertainment every couple months.
Yeah, for real.
No, I didn't.
But here's the thing. Look, that's not a bad argument though, because you gun owners would argue that like that's what they do, right? Yeah. That's what they own their guns for. They just want to have fun with them. They go out and they go shoot them off at whatever targets, and they're having their fun.
Which I completely understand, like, because I mean we've talked in the past, like I'm a big fan of archery, and I know you like archery too.
Yeah.
And it's very much a similar thing. It's a weapon, that you're shooting, but it's a far less destructive, a far less,
Right, but the big difference with my hobby is that nobody dies.
Did you not see the end of Man of Steel?
I mean, like, it's not like,
I'm making these jokes, and I'm, but it's not, it's not with forgetting the tragedy. Like, it's a coping. I have complete respect for the situation. I just want to say that, but
It's not like I watched, a bad superhero movie and then went out and bought tons of copies of that superhero movie and then used those discs to murder people with.
Yeah.
Somehow. I don't know how I could do that. But I could find a way.
Throw the discs hard enough.
Yeah.
You sharpen the edge.
Yeah, I see. I made batarangs out of all of them or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if stuff like that was happening, on a regular basis, maybe you could argue getting rid of those things.
Yeah.
And then maybe I would give up my hobby
to
protect other people.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point. So, we'll get Punisher soon. It's later this fall. It's not that far off. It'll be probably next month, I imagine.
Sure.
Now, also relating to this, the remake of Death Wish, starring Bruce Willis, has been moved back. So, to the rest of the world, you're welcome. With the bad comes the good.
Yeah.
No, I don't think anybody cares about this movie.
No.
I don't know why. I don't know why they're making it. Just wanted to point that out.
They were probably making it because Bruce Willis probably wanted to make it. I imagine that's the only reason. Like,
I don't know.
Who even cares about Death Wish anymore, right?
I mean, yeah.
That was Charles Bronson.
Charles Bronson, yeah. Yeah, so it moved from November 22nd to March 2nd, 2018. That's a big pushback.
Wait, what are the dates again?
November 22nd to March 2nd.
Oh.
So maybe they had problems with it. They were like, let's just push it back.
Yeah.
But it'll be forgotten in March as well. No one's going to care.
Yeah.
All right. No one cares about that. We'll move on.
Moving on.
Unrelated.
Yeah.
Another postponement. Not relating to any sort of violence in any sort of country.
Yeah.
Maybe violence assault on our eyes.
Yeah.
Because of what the series that this movie is in. But The Bride of Frankenstein has been postponed.
Now, I'll take an opportunity to remind you folks who the champion of this series of movies was prior to The Mummy coming out.
I was hopeful. Okay.
Why?
Do you blame? Is it so wrong?
Yes.
To want something to be good.
Dude, yeah, because you saw the trailer. It looked terrible. Nobody thought that looked good outside of you.
I was hopeful. It gave me some question, but I was hopeful.
Dude.
It turned out that, what you saw in the trailer was basically the whole, all the crap, and there was nothing good in the movie, really.
I was going to say, that was all the best parts of the movie. I still can't get past...
Yeah, I mean...
I said best, I didn't say good.
There's really not much else in the movie besides the trailers.
No.
Yeah.
And I still, to this day, cannot get past those chains aren't meant to bring something up. Those are meant to hold something down. And then they shoot the gear and it comes up. I'm like, nope, clearly meant to bring something up. It's like, you knew that when you wrote that. Yeah. You sat at a computer, you typed those words out. You should be ashamed.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So this movie had a release date of February 14th, 2019. Now it has no release date. Now, you could look at that and say, well, putting out a release date beyond 2019 is kind of far out. Do we have any release dates for movies in 2020 yet? Not really.
No, not outside of maybe some Marvel stuff. But
yeah, so it might not mean anything. Actually, we don't have any Marvel movies 2020 officially.
Star Wars? No.
I think it's still 2019.
Yeah.
So you could also look at it and say, maybe this movie's never happening.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, because of how bad The Mummy was, and that.
Because you really don't hear any movement on any of that stuff, right? Like Invisible Man, there's nothing going on. Because I know they had casting for all.
Well, this was supposed to be the next one, I think.
Yeah.
So, and you said with Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, there was some talks that she might be dropping out.
Yeah, but the thing is, was she ever officially confirmed for this movie?
I thought so. Because
I feel like it was just a rumor.
I thought she was confirmed. I thought Johnny Depp was confirmed for Invisible Man.
Yeah, there was a couple others. Was she? Was she one of those? There was. Oh my god, I'm losing names. The guy who was the villain in the Bond movie Skyfall.
Oh, Javier Bardem.
Yeah.
Wasn't he? Was he Dracula or Wolfman? Dracula. He was Dracula.
He's one of them.
He was. I'm pretty
Benicio del Toro was the Wolfman in that other movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Either way, yeah, there was something they said like, oh, we want to work on the script and stuff like. Which, look, if that's what you're doing, then yes, clearly you need to work on your scripts, because The Mummy, the worst part about the movie was the script. It's a garbage script.
Yeah,
absolutely garbage, and all the stuff that happened in it, like, obviously, that's the whole reason why the movie's bad, because you had nothing good to base it on.
Yeah.
Totally wasted performances by anybody in that movie. Like, Tom Cruise is usually good, but like this is bad casting for him in that movie.
So I don't really care about Tom Cruise that much. So
yeah, most people don't. Yeah, I like him because most of his movies are good, but
yeah.
Anyway, nothing good really going on with that. So okay, we're gonna move on to, I guess, the rest of the stuff is all a bunch of little TV stories, right? So. Constantine is actually going to appear again in Legends of Tomorrow, season 3.
Yeah, which I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah, and it's the same actor,
Matt Ryan,
playing him again. He's been great in that role.
Yeah. I liked the series, the Constantine series, on its own, which regrettably I watched that like after it was already canceled and off the air.
Yeah,
but
you finished it all?
I think I have one episode left, just because I just don't want to finish it, because I know it's gonna not end.
It still exists to you if you don't finish.
Well, because I know that's not gonna end, but I still have him ongoing in like the CW shows. Mm-hmm. So I have him in Arrow now, Legends of Tomorrow, which I loved. Like, I loved when he showed up in Arrow. Like those those couple episodes were great.
Yeah, I watched the premiere episode of Constantine. And then after that, I was like, I don't know. Like, I wasn't really... It's not like it was bad. I was like, it was okay.
Yeah.
And then there was that story I read that they
recast.
The lead female role in that show was recast. So they got rid of that character.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know how that turned out. Was it for the better? I don't know. It was
fine.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was a lateral change.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't notice any difference personally, but I don't know. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of excited for this news.
Yeah, it's good to hear.
Because I like Legends of Tomorrow, but it's not it's fairly inconsistent. So like anything that that seems to just like bring like more of the fandom to it.
Yeah, and Legends does all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, they're not afraid to go out and just do something wild.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, like, I would love to see Constantine in that, because he can do some crazy bizarre magic and spells and have a much more significant effect than maybe what we've seen him do in Arrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I would like to actually see him,
because he's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
That movie one, the animated one.
The animated one?
Yeah,
Justice League Dark?
Yeah. Where we saw
Etrigan and...
Yeah. Did that come out?
Yeah.
Did I watch that?
Yeah, because that was the one, because it had like Deadman and Zatanna. It was
okay. Yeah. No. Yeah.
He was good, but I think overall some, like, it was fairly underwhelming.
But like, you see how powerful he can be in that, right? And how like the grandiose like effect that he can have on things. Like, it's cool. Like, I want to see more of that.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, also hand in hand with that, they also had released a trailer, I think it was today, for the CW Seed animated series for Constantine, where Matt Ryan is again reprising the role. And like the trailer, it's basically Constantine going in, and like it looks like he's gonna battle a bunch of demons in like this old church, and he's basically like, oh no, I'm just stalling. And then like this other like giant demon comes in, he's like, yeah, he was just stalling for me. And then like this demon comes in and just like kills all the other ones. Like, I'm not like one for like, I don't really like gratuitous violence and stuff like that, but it was actually a really cool trailer. Okay. I'm not doing it justice at all. No.
I have to see it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch it. Like, I'm kind of not. There's so much stuff to watch. Like, I can't really.
Especially now with the season starting up.
Yeah, I mean, this week we've got the CW shows coming back.
Yeah.
We've got Inhumans coming back, right?
Dude, Inhumans has been on.
No, it wasn't last week.
It wasn't?
No, I went to look because I was like, I don't really care about this show, but I kind of just want, just feel like I wanted to see it.
So this week should be the episode that didn't play in the theaters.
Right, so this will be the actual third episode. Because I went and checked, and I'm like, oh no, it didn't air. I'm like, wow, and I bet nobody cared or missed it.
Yeah.
Like, how do you? The ratings are probably going to be abysmal for episode 3.
Yeah.
Because from what I read, that the ratings were okay.
Yeah.
They weren't terrible, but they weren't good. For the premiere. But with that in mind, missing a week and then coming back, and I'm sure the enthusiasm probably dropped completely, because I'm sure if you saw it, it wasn't good. So
no, not at all.
So you're probably not going to come back, especially missing a week. You're like, forget it, I don't care. With everything else starting up soon now.
Yeah,
I don't know. So then Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to start December 1st, which is going to be immediately after Inhumans ends.
Yep.
And it's going to be a 2-hour premiere.
Yeah, which it should be cool.
Yeah. I like that. I mean, I'm really into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and 2-hour premiere is cool because maybe it can be more like an epic movie type opening to it.
See, I just know they're gonna do the frustrating thing that I'm gonna expect them to do on Flash tomorrow and Arrow on Thursday. Where you have this huge cliffhanger that has all these threads going on, and they're going to wrap it up in one episode. At least Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they're probably going to wrap it up in 2 episodes or the 2-hour special.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is pretty good on having
they're not going to be
threads continue, though. Well, yeah. But maybe that has a big impact on the season itself. Like, maybe that's an ongoing, whatever that
unless
leads
they're setting
to.
up Sword, which I know there was speculation.
Possible.
But I have a feeling with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., though, I'm going to get through that and probably another episode or 2 and then just drop off again.
I mean, you can do space on a TV series. Star Trek exists.
Does it, though?
I mean, not to most people in America.
Yeah.
Because nobody pays for CBS Access.
No.
All Access? Yeah.
CBS All Access, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
boycotting that show.
Yeah. I will say Discovery is a pretty good show, but it really just doesn't feel like Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the second episode or third episode, whichever one it was prior to this week, it really it felt like it was more horror themed than sci-fi themed. It was very much a haunted house episode.
Yeah. So, it sounds like I'm just not really missing that much. And while it might be a decent show,
yeah.
Sorry, CBS, you're not giving me the opportunity to watch it. And I'm not, there's no reason to pay for your service.
Yeah. Once it comes to Netflix, then, yeah.
If it comes to Netflix, yeah, I'll check it out. That's if, though. Because they have their service here. I don't see why they're going to do that. I know in other countries it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
And that's great. Good for you guys because you get to just watch it. Because you probably have Netflix because most people do.
See, what would anger me about that, though, and yes, I do know how ridiculous it is to be angered over something so stupid. If it's on... Because I have this weird disconnect when it comes to Netflix. If it is on Netflix, I do not want to watch it episodically. I want to binge watch that. I do not want to wait a week. That's not what Netflix is.
Because that's what Netflix has been. But I don't understand why they can't do that. Why they don't do that. Because I wouldn't mind.
To do the full dump or to do it episodically?
No, do episode by episode. Once a week. I don't mind that because...
Well, I'll say just personally, I don't like watching things episodically. My preferred way would just be to... over however long, just watch a show at my leisure. Just give me the whole thing and But
it's very addictive. If it's a good show, you just want to keep watching, and you just burn through it all quickly, and then it's gone.
That's why I'm waiting for season 4 of Fuller House.
So there's good and bad to it. It's good that you get to see all of it right away, but if you do that, then it's it feels like it was so short, lived. Like Daredevil, I've seen Daredevil season 1 once, and now granted I don't watch TV shows really more than once. It's very rare.
Yeah.
So that's not to say anything about the show, but so I saw that once and Jessica Jones once, and I really liked them, but it was so long ago and I watched it so quickly that I don't remember it that well. Like it blew by because it's a lot to take in. It's not like a 2-hour movie where you don't have as much to process, right? So you can remember all that, and you know, if you see it again, then it like really sticks with you. You know? Yeah. So there's good and bad to it. Like I would like to see a Netflix show do that here, and obviously they're doing it elsewhere. But
yeah, well, because I mean, I know that's how like Hulu does their original programming and stuff like that. But
yeah. All right. Small things. Iron Fist is going to appear in Luke Cage season 2. Yep.
So yeah, it's kind of like a Heroes for Hire kind of thing, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I hope they set it up in a good way and lead into I like. If they're gonna do season 3s of these things, like just do a team up season, like with the two of them. I don't think I need more of them on their own. Like they're fine, but like how much can you really do with them individually? It'd be more fun and interesting to see them, at least the two of them together.
Yeah, I don't know. The only series, like Daredevil is cool. I like Daredevil and all. The only one of those series that I'm actually like interested in seeing a standalone like continuation of is Jessica Jones.
Yeah, but it's the one that we have no idea where it's going to go, of course, because there's not really much else written. Yeah. And I just think she's a very interesting character. Yeah. And Daredevil, like, we've seen a lot of the same themes. Like, I feel like it's just, you're going to get a lot more of the same. Like, and if you like it, that's good. I do. I'm sure it'll be good, but I don't expect too much surprise out of that. That's mostly it. There's a X-Files, a little X-Files news.
Yeah. They're gonna be releasing soon the final, or at least Gillian Anderson's final season of the show, which I can't imagine them probably continuing after that. But yeah, she came out like earlier today. I think it was just announcing that it's gonna be her final, time playing Dana Scully, which I think is, probably a good time. I have high hopes for the season because I really liked the previous one. And also they were saying that it's going to be continuing the storyline from the last season because it kind of left off on a cliffhanger.
Okay. Do you think there's potential they could just do like a spin-off and keep it going?
They've tried to do a couple spin-offs with the X-Files. It doesn't really work.
Were they called X-Files though?
No.
See, that's the difference. Like,
well, okay, so
X-Files, the college years. No, I'm kidding.
X-Files Miami. Well, because at one point the show kind of
X-Files, Aliens Victim Unit.
Yeah, I mean, there was one point where they did kind of spin off the show in of itself, where it was following different agents. It was like Agents Doggett and Reyes instead of Mulder and Scully, and they were still good shows. Like, it was still well done. I still enjoyed it, but it wasn't really the same. So I mean, they could have it continue on with different agents. Like, that's the nature of the X-Files. But
yeah, I don't see why they couldn't.
But definitely where the season is heading though, because it's very apocalyptic. I don't know if they would be continuing it beyond, but
okay.
Because now neither of them are really. Well, actually, no, they're back with the FBI now, but they both left the FBI in the last movie. But.
All right. So I guess last thing, Gifted, right?
Yeah.
We both got Gifted.
Yep.
And I really enjoyed it. I'm on board. I'm going to keep watching.
Terrible. I fell asleep No, it was a lot of fun. I don't know if I. Carl's looking at my phone. Throughout a little backstory. Throughout this entire podcast from about 8:15 on, they're supposed to be dropping the Star Wars trailer, so I've just been refreshing Twitter.
Oh, that's what you've been doing.
That's what I've been doing.
I thought you were, maybe somebody important was texting you something like,
oh, God, no.
Serious.
No, I mean, like, sure, my father's in the hospital, but Star Wars, no.
Oh, yeah.
No, my dad's fine.
So under the table, you've just been hiding the fact that you've been looking at
I've been like just
Star
refreshing
Wars Twitter.
I've been refreshing the Star Wars Twitter page. Because, dude, like, how great would that be? Would it be the first podcast with the Twitter reaction? Or the reaction to the trailer?
Very true. I don't think it's meant to be, though.
No, probably not.
So, Gifted, I mean, I like the characters so far.
Yeah.
The powers, the representation and use of them, very good.
Yeah.
The setup for the show is nothing totally unique, but I think it's being used well.
Yeah.
I like the references to the X-Men, how they're like, for some reason, they're no longer around or gone, or like whatever the explanation is, and they're sort of this underground group that's trying to like take their place or do what they can to help people.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm enjoying the show so far. I mean, we're only one episode in. I think the second one's tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, but look, I'm so happy that Polaris is
Magneto's daughter.
But she's Magneto. Yeah. She's got that, basically has that power set.
Yeah.
And they put her in like a plastic prison. Spoiler, sorry, but like I love that idea. I love that concept, and I'm so happy to see it again.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I wanted to mention was The Tick on is it Amazon?
Amazon, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I watched it. It's only 6 episodes, and they're only like 27-minute episodes. So realistically, you watch it all, it's like a long movie.
Yeah.
And it's really good. It's funny. The characters are really good. I like the powers in it. You know, the budget's obviously not super high, but they do good enough with what they have. Mm-hmm. You know, the costumes are supposed to be like outlandish and weird.
A little ridiculous.
Yeah, so like they work. You know, there's a good amount of like mystery to like, I don't know really the story about the Tick, so like I'm interested in like the way it's set up. Like the Tick doesn't seem to really know who he is, like how he came to be. Like that's cool. Like I want to know more. It left on like a cliffhanger because apparently that's only half of the first season.
Yeah. And
they just announced recently the second part is coming in January.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I think I've seen stuff like pop up on Twitter where you see like just Arthur from behind or something.
Yeah, with the wingsuit and everything. Yeah, which it's a cool suit. Like it's good. I like it.
Yeah, I still have to watch it. I know like you were texting me saying it was really good. I should check it out, and I will.
But... Yeah, and I binged it all like in one night. Yeah. I couldn't stop watching it. I was like, that was good. I'm like, I'll keep watching. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's really good. I'm like, this is great. And I got to like I got through 5 episodes, and I was like, all right, it's late. I should go to bed. And then I looked ahead, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's only 6 episodes? I'm just finishing it now.
It's 2 more. Why not?
Yeah. No, it was 1 more at that point. Oh. I was like, I was going to go to bed, and I realized there was only 1 episode more to watch. And I was like, no, that's it. I'm staying up. It's happening. So, yeah, it really grabbed me. I've never watched anything with the Tick, and good performances.
Yeah, see, I think what I had going against it was the fact that I have watched previous things with the Tick. Mm-hmm. Like, I tried watching the animated series. I think I tried reading a couple of the comics. I tried watching the live action, and none of it really did anything for me. Mm-hmm. So... Yeah,
it's really funny. Like, I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, and then this will tie back into the conversation from last week. There was, because Barry Sonnenfeld did the live action TV show. Mm-hmm. And he also directed, I think, the first 2 Men in Black movies. There was, in the very beginning of Men in Black 2, Patrick Warburton plays Agent T.
Right, yeah.
Who was basically playing the Tick.
Okay, yeah.
As a Men in Black agent, which was really fun.
Okay.
So a little bit of trivia there.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Star Wars trailer, by the way.
Star Wars trailer is imminent, as it is 9:00 on Monday for us.
Yeah.
You'll be listening to this sometime tomorrow or afterwards, because we release on Tuesday. So unfortunately, we're not going to get to bring you that.
No. Next week, though.
Yeah. We're super excited. Can't wait.
Yeah.
That's it. This has been the Superhero's Journey.
Correct.
It was episode 20. My name is Carl Freeman.
Yep, I'm Brian Shores.
And you can find us at Twitter at Superhero Journey. No E in Super. Find me at Carl Freeman, CarlFreemerman.
And find me at ThatBrien, ThatBrien.
And email us at thesuperheroesjourney@gmail.com. And that's been the show.
Yep, and the awkward ending. Thanks.
Justice League.
Oh. You had to end it on down now.
We ruined it.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.